Greetings from Florida. The warmth of being home is a reminder why I've chosen public service. From joining the United States Navy and serving in Iraq, to representing the people in the U.S. Congress, and now serving as governor of Florida. And it reminds me why I decided to run for president, to fight for those who have been forgotten in this country. This is America's time for choosing. We can choose to allow a border invasion, or we can choose to stop it. We can choose reckless borrowing and spending, or we can choose to limit government and lower inflation. We can choose political indoctrination, or we can choose classical education. These choices are symptoms of the underlying struggle to ensure that constitutional government can endure and that Western civilization can survive. And we launched this campaign to bring accountability to government, regain sovereignty at our border, and restore sanity to our society. We cannot succeed as a country if we allow our nation to be invaded, our currency to be debased, our cities to crumble, and our kids to be indoctrinated. The DC elites who facilitated this mess do not care about you, and they do not work for you. They work for themselves. They seek to accumulate power at your expense to pursue an agenda that is harmful to the American people. Citizens do not serve politicians. It is the duty of politicians to serve you. Talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. Reversing the decline of this nation requires leadership that delivers big results for the people we are elected to serve. I have a record of leading with conviction, championing an agenda marked by bold colors, delivering on my promises, and defeating the people who are responsible for our nation's decline. That is the type of leadership we need for all of America. Now, over the past many months, Casey and I have traveled across the country to deliver a message of hope, that decline is a choice, and that we can, in fact, succeed again as a nation. Nobody worked harder, and we left it all out on the field. Now, following our second place finish in Iowa, we've prayed and deliberated on the way forward. If there was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology are over. I thank all of our passionate supporters who've stood by us through it all, that we had people volunteer to come to Iowa in the middle of a blizzard to knock on doors and make phone calls touched us dearly. No candidate had more thrown at him, but no candidate had so many committed volunteers and staff. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Casey, and our kids, Madison, Mason, and Mamie. Casey's gone far above and beyond in her support for our campaign and for our cause. She's not only a great wife and mother, she's a great American who cares deeply about the future of the country that our kids will inherit. Our kids have seen and done a lot on the trail, from playing on the famed Field of Dreams baseball site in Iowa to making their first snowman in New Hampshire. They are one of the reasons we fight so hard for what we believe in. Winston Churchill once remarked that success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. While this campaign has ended, the mission continues. Down here in Florida, we will continue to show the country how to lead. Thank you, and God bless.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Greetings.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Brian here. So, as I just showed, that was the video of Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida and presidential candidate, suspending his presidential campaign and dropping out of the race. Now, you know what? DeSantis, he didn't stand much of a chance. I mean, he got defeated by 30 some points in Iowa. He was in single digits in New Hampshire and South Carolina. He is not raising nowhere nearly as much money as he did when he first entered. So, his chances were slim to none. Now, some of the stuff he said in that speech about how we need to defeat woke ideology, that's very right. But him saying that he would endorse Trump, talking about how he's had disagreements with Trump over the pandemic and Fauci, why are you endorsing him then? This is this is not the Ron DeSantis that of 2022 or 2021. This is not him. It just shows how much of a puppet he is. He's a coward. Donald Trump has said so many things about him. Even insisting that he was sleeping with minors. He said that at one point. He said that over a year ago. Made fun of him. And he's saying he's going to endorse him. Ron DeSantis is a joke. You know, Ron DeSantis, from probably 2021 all the way up to March, until he actually started running for president, everybody was predicting that Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis were going to tear each other apart. That it was actually going to be a huge race. Many people thought that Trump was going to eke out the win, but it was going to be extremely close. And DeSantis was going to be Trump's main rival and going to be that burden on his back. That's what so many people thought. And in the summer it looked like that, but he was so far behind. Last November in 2022, when he won his re-election in a landslide by 20 points, he was leading Trump by 7-8 points nationally. 7-8 points nationally. In states, he was on average ahead by 5 points. There was somewhere he was ahead 12 points. Somewhere he was tied. Somewhere he was only behind a point. He was a real threat to Trump. He was out raising Trump in money. There were more donors wanting to donate to him. All these things. He was a threat. But he waited a long-ass time to get into the campaign. And when he did enter the campaign, what did he do? Did he stand up to Trump? Did he call Trump out for running us $8 trillion in debt? No. Did he call Trump out for failing America and getting Joe Biden elected? No. Did he call Trump out for failing to lead during the COVID pandemic and not firing Anthony Fauci? No. Did he call Trump out about January 6th? No. Did he call Trump out for trying to overturn an election that he lost? No. Did he call Trump out about taking documents from the White House that were secret? No. Did he call out Trump for not building the wall? For not doing all these things that were promised? No. He occasionally, once in a mid-while, would do like a little mediocre challenge to him. But with him refusing to stand up to Trump and cowering down to him, and his views every day getting more and more radical, and having horrible debate performances, Ron DeSantis' campaign fell apart. This guy went from leading by 7 points to trailing by 10, then by 20, then by 30, then 40, and in some cases even 50 some points. And as you see, he ended up coming in second in the Iowa caucus, but he came nowhere close to being in first. Nowhere close. And now he's out of the race. He says he's a patriot, which he served this country in the military, and I want to thank Ron for your service. But why would you endorse this man? I can appreciate that you realize that your chances are low, so you got out of the race. You didn't want to waste your time, or voters' time, or people's money, or anything, or your money. You didn't want to do that. But why would you endorse this man who is totally the opposite of what you have done? Now listen, Ron DeSantis has done a lot of things in Florida that I've hated, such as book banning, and his little lawsuit with Disney, and his comments about slavery and stuff like that. He's said and done things that I've strongly disagreed with. His abortion his abortion bill I've strongly disagreed with. But then he's done things like that I've 100% agreed with, like reopening the state early, defending freedom of speech, the Don't Say Gay bill in school to try to stop indoctrination, and defending guns, taking Biden on the vaccine mandate, calling for Anthony Fauci to be fired, opening up schools in Florida, banning mask mandates, balancing out the budget. I mean, this guy could have been leader. Donald Trump is totally opposite of that. And he said all Donald Trump did was rearrange the swamp. Well, you're sure getting behind him, aren't you? It just shows how much of a coward Ron DeSantis is. It's not just him. It's a lot of them. Doug Burgum, Vivek Ramaswamy. All these people have failed to stand up to this man because they're afraid. They're afraid, including Nikki Haley. They're afraid that they might never be able to hold another political office. They're afraid that Trump might say something that'll insult them. They're afraid they might get booed. They're afraid they won't be able to run for president in 2028. They're afraid their legacy will go down. Or maybe they're just afraid of him in general. But that is not leadership. It's not. In 1980, when Ronald Reagan entered and George Bush was the front runner, George Bush Sr., did Ronald Reagan try to tiptoe around him? No, he called him out. I think Abraham Lincoln, Dwight Eisenhower, Ronald Reagan, Teddy Roosevelt, George Bush Sr., the great Republican leaders of previous generations, I think they would be extremely ashamed of the Republican Party today, coalescing behind this man. Now, I'm not saying the Democrats are much better, because they're no better with Joe Biden. They're tiptoeing, trying to tiptoe around him, and they're praising him. But we need to stop these two men, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It's a cult of personality. It's just, I'm not trying to insult you if you're a Trump supporter or a DeSantis supporter, but we need to rack back these radical policies. We really do. We cannot keep doing this. This is not a thing of things. It's just, it's horrible. I mean, the parties are so radical now. They are just so radical. It's like on the Republican side, it's you gotta be all in for Trump and all MAGA. You have to want to outlaw abortion nationwide federally. You have to want to abolish Obamacare. You have to want to be pro-war, all these things. Then on the Democratic side, you have to want to be pro-Medicare for all, pro-student bailouts, pro-abortion federally up to 9 months, anti-gun, anti-freedom of speech. These parties are so radical. This is the pure example of why we need Bobby Kennedy or Joe Manchin or someone to win who is not a part of these radicals. We just do. Alright, everyone, that's a little rant video there. I'm just scared for America, because I feel like we're going to end up becoming communism or fascism. I'm terrified about it. But all I can say is vote, whether it's voting for Bobby Kennedy or Joe Manchin, or even if you're voting for one of the radicals, you're still voting. But we have to stop these people. We have to. Alright, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. That's going to be it for this video. I really appreciate it. 93 subs. Please keep it up. We're so close to 100. And please keep chugging, keep subscribing, share these videos, like them, leave a comment, all that. I really appreciate it. And I love you all so much. So, as always, the usual. Please like this video. Please leave a comment on this video. Please favorite this video. Please share this video. And most importantly, please subscribe to the channel. And ding that bell so you can be notified every time I make a video. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. I love you all. Stay safe. And go vote.